Hey everyone, this is Carla R. Jenkins. In this video, I'm going to talk about my top 10 accomplishments for the year 2021. So if you've been following me, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it because 2021 has been a transformative year for me and my brand, and I wanted to just showcase this video as my token of appreciation for all the support that I received from you. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to never miss any videos in IT, cloud, and project management. So we're going to get started. I also have the blog post from it so you can read it. But the number one thing is my getting accepted into the Amazon Web Services Community Builders Program. This was by far my biggest accomplishment of 2021. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I went through Ohio Meets Jobs, Cuyahoga County, where Cleveland, Ohio is located, and got my Amazon Web Services training 2 years prior. So getting into this program, because AWS is the market leader, not just in the United States, but globally in cloud computing, it was a testament that I was good enough to do cloud computing. It also was hard to get in because its acceptance rate was 25%. At the time when I applied, there was 1,200 applications, so like a little less than 300 people got in. But I also was on the machine learning track, which I currently still am, but it gave me a significant amount of transferable skills. If you've been following me, you know that I got accepted into the Deloitte Salesforce consulting program later this year. But it just like said, okay, I'm good enough for cloud computing, which was big. And if I just stop right there, that's better than a whole lot of people who do cloud computing. So the number one thing was my getting accepted into Amazon Web Services Community Builder Program. And that was like number one. Number two is my passing my AZ700, which is Azure Network Engineer Associate Beta exam. By far, as I always state, whenever I mention AZ700, it was the hardest associate exam I've ever taken. It was harder than AZ104, and it was harder than AI100, which was Artificial Intelligence Engineer. For me, I noticed I was the only female in exam prep classes, as well as I think one of the few females who passed the beta exam. I am very happy to have taken and passed this because it says that I know cloud networking, and that's huge. Networking is very important to me. I feel that networking supports my solutions architect background, because it's one thing to recommend services, products and services and offerings to people, but if you don't know like their connectivity or what type of network they're running on, then you can't offer them the best service for them. You know, Azure may have a service that they could use, but if their connectivity or their networking isn't at the level, then that service that you recommend really can't help. Which is why I say number two for me is AZ700. And then finally, regarding AZ700, it also gave me the confidence to sit for the AZ305, which is the Azure Architect Expert Beta exam, which I took in December. Number three is my passing of my AZ104, which is my Azure Administrator Associate exam. This was actually the only certification I wanted to take at the beginning of 2021. Obviously, that changed. But this was a watershed moment for me, because being a certified cloud administrator, it's like the floodgates open. I received so many more opportunities. Actually, the contract that I received for exam prep questions originated with AZ104. And it just opened up the floodgates for everything, because even to this day, 9 months later, which is, I'm filming this January 5th, 2022, people are still, getting in touch with me regarding my being cloud certified. Number 4 is my getting accepted into Deloitte Salesforce Consulting Select program. I will say I got accepted the second time. For me, I attribute my getting accepted the second time based on my George Washington University School of Business Customer Experience Advisory Board that I got accepted on August 31st of 2021. I do think that moved the needle for them accepting me in that. The reason why I placed this above the George Washington University is because of the fact that it gave me an opportunity to network with both people who worked at Deloitte and Salesforce. That's number one. Number two, I learned more about Salesforce and customer relationship management and how big it is. And then the third one is through my technical case assessment, I actually got an interview for an analyst position. So I got a whole lot more out of that, which is why I'm listing the Deloitte Salesforce Consultant Select program as number 4. Number 5 is my website, carlarjacobs.com, breaking into the 100K Alexa Internet threshold. So Alexa Internet, which is owned by Amazon, is a website ranking tool that ranks the top 20 million websites. And the Majestic Million is the top 1 million websites. And for my website to be, as of right now, 155,000 as a solo blogger for IT, cloud, and project management, that's a huge deal. I first got into the Majestic Million September 2018, so to still be there and go from like 995,000 all the way to 155,000, like moving up 840,000 spots in 2.5 years, that is huge. I would like to thank all of you for reading and taking time out to share my content, to comment on my site, and also to go through the Facebook widget. So I have that connected, so you can connect with me on Messenger. It matters so much to me because all I wanted to do was put out high quality, actionable content. I've gotten deals from my website. You can work with me at carlarjenkins.com/work. But yes, number 5 is my breaking into the 100,000 Alexa Internet threshold. Number 6, I mentioned it earlier with AZ104, but landing my Azure contract. What it means to me is that I was a certified paid cloud professional. Someone was paying me because of my skill set and what I could do in Azure, and that just motivated me to go even further. And it wasn't like pennies on a dollar, it was actual like real high quality stuff that I've done, because that's what I always pride myself on. But number 6, landing the contract, that was a huge deal for me. I expect to land even more contracts in 2022. Number 7 is being accepted into the George Washington University Customer Experience Advisory Council as a member. So I had my interview through LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the business social media. That's one of the biggest channels I go through because I focus in IT, cloud, and project management. And I remember when I had my interview with the lady, she actually used LinkedIn because the system was down, and she liked the fact that whenever I pass my certifications, I write 2 articles. The first article are the exam resources that I use, and the second article I write is the lessons learned from passing that certification. That's how I got accepted, because she said, sharing the knowledge, helping other people was very important. And I will also say that getting accepted on an advisory council validated my professional career. There are a lot of people who get not just degrees. I have 2 of them, but it says, okay, you're good enough, or we see you as a thought leader, we see you as that. And it was big for me because customer experience, that's what I do. I make sure that people who come to my site have the best customer experience out there, and just helping people and paying it forward. Because I see anybody who's trying to get a certification or degree or anything, is they have the initiative. I just want to be the vessel. I want to be the conduit to provide context or any type of resource to help you move yourself forward, which is huge. I've always prided myself on this, and I feel that the GW advisory council member is an acknowledgement of my helping others pay it forward, which is great. So number 8 is Exam Pro beta tester. That helped me a lot because I learned like all of the training, free exams, but also the experience. Like if you were to go on LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, Coursera, Skillsoft, Skillshare, any type of online, even the online Zoom thing that you pay for through like career development or career council mastermind, it's a certain customer experience there. And I learned the back end of that. And it also made me understand the importance of educational tech, because that's what you're doing. And that laid the foundation for me being able to do the contract because I understood the back end of education tech. So the number 8 thing for me is Exam Pro beta tester, and check out their products. Very good. I highly recommend them, and I did use them to pass my AWS, my Azure, my Oracle. All of that was through them. So shout out to Andrew Brown and Exam Pro. Number 9 is my passing my SC900. That was my first Microsoft beta exam. It's important because it gave me the experience for a beta exam. It also let me, quantify my knowledge in cybersecurity. And I felt, for me, I took it because I failed the AZ104 and I needed a pick me up, and that kind of helped because that was a fundamental exam. I did pass it. I did end up passing the AZ104 retake, but I also had an added benefit for that because I did my 2 key takeaways of the SC900 beta. I'll put the link to it to my blog post because it contains the video. And I actually got WizLab to give me a promo slot for that video too. So I'm very happy about that. And then number 10 is my passing my Artificial Intelligence 100 or AI 100. That was big because it was the Associate Artificial Intelligence. As I mentioned in the previous video of my 2021 certifications, that until I sat for the exam, I actually thought I was going to fail the exam, but I didn't. It tapped my inner techie. I've always loved technology. Artificial intelligence is the next foray of technology for me, so I'm already preparing for it, even though cloud computing is very new, and comparing that to artificial intelligence, which is nascent, I want to be an early adopter. That's always been my thing. And so with artificial intelligence, that really, really helped. For me, I will also say that I went from Azure Fundamentals or AZ900 in August of 2020, and less than 10 months later on June 28th, 10 months later on June 28th, 2021, I became a certified Azure Artificial Intelligence Engineer. That is a huge ramp up. It talks about all of the knowledge that I accumulated going on the Azure portal, learning the CLI, which is command line interface, Bash, PowerShell, all of the knowledge that I use just to continually expand and grow professionally. That was huge. So this were the top 10, but I do have my top 5 honorable mentions for 2021. The number one thing for that is the time management turnaround. So I had passed 8 certification exams in 2021, which is like one every 45 days. And at the end, I managed to turn it around like almost every week and a half studying for something. When I used to only do 1 certification a year. And I remember in 2020, before the pandemic started, I passed my IDO 4 Create, Deliver, and Support in February 2020. But I had 4 exam vouchers from Ohio Me Shops, Cuyahoga County, and I had to complete, I think, one within a year for my case to be successful. I managed to pass 2: the certified cloud practitioner and the solutions architect professional. So I already had at the end 3. But just being able to, deduce things, create a system, learn as much as possible, and be able to execute, that was a huge deal for me. And so the number one thing for honorable mention is improve time management, execution, and turnaround. Uh, the second thing is self-financing my new project management certifications. So I was able to pay out of pocket for my scaled agile framework, Scrum Master, and my certified Scrum product owner. That's huge, especially in a pandemic where things are changing. Even in 2022, with the Omicron variant as of right now, things are still changing. So the requirements are changing. And being able to have the money to get the certification necessary to shift and be current and be relevant in project management and in Scrum, Agile Scrum, matters a lot, because what they're saying project management is changing. Yes, I have project management professional. That still matters a lot. People, that's still in demand. I'm not saying it isn't. Same with the certified Scrum Master. But having skilled agile framework, Scrum Master, having 2 different types and cycles of Scrum, and also qualifying for both the product owner as well as the Scrum Master, that was a huge deal for me. The third one is the Facebook Elevate Scholarship. I'm a Black in Technology member, and getting a scholarship for the Facebook Elevate, which was for Black creators, was huge because it taught me more about social media, especially as it pertains to Facebook and Instagram. And that is, and it improves how I show up and how I present myself on those 2 social media channels. Number 4 is receiving my ISTS Dream Tech CISSP scholarship. So it's honorable mention because I ended my tenure, or I ended my case. I had it closed through Ohio Me's Jobs, Cuyahoga County, over my not getting the CISSP training because they said they only paid for 1 training, which was the AWS. And within less than 4 weeks after closing it, I got the scholarship. So that was a huge deal. I initially wanted to become a CISSP early in 2021, but I had like a family emergency that was health related, so it was delayed. I do think I'm ready in 2022, but that's number 4. And then number 5 is my getting accepted into Google Cloud Jumpstart program. I've always been talking about multi-cloud, and for those who don't know, multi-cloud is learning more than one cloud provider. So as of right now, I'm Amazon Web Services, Azure, and Oracle Cloud. Getting into Google Cloud is huge because here in the United States, Google Cloud is the number 3 public cloud behind Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure. And being in a program where I would get free chance of passing my associate cloud engineer certification is something that is huge for me. I always make this a common thread throughout all of my videos, the importance of, when I self-finance things, of going through programs, scholarships, and getting free exam vouchers, because those are free ways of upskilling and reskilling myself. So that's the top 10 accomplishments of 2021, plus the 5 bonuses honorable mention. Once again, I would like to thank everyone for all of your support. Check me out on carlarjenkins.com. If you want to work with me, carlarjenkins.com/work, or you can go to the contact tab. My expertise is IT, cloud, and project management. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support in 2021, and here's to an even better 2022.